In this video, we're going to review the Navee V40 Pro electric scooter. We're going to unbox, assemble, go over the controls and app, test ride, and review the e-scooter. The V40 Pro has a 350 watt front hub motor with a max speed of 20 miles per hour, thumb throttle, 36 volt, 7.8 amp hour battery with a range of up to 25 miles, front EBAS and rear disc brakes, headlight, tail light, and weighs 36 pounds. Additional specs can be found in the description section below. This is the box that it came in. This is the front of the box. This is the back of the box. This was everything inside of the box. Over here we have a few bags. These are the manuals, which I'll go over in a second. There is an Allen key and the tire inflator extension. We also have the charger. There's also an air tag holder. This is the manual. You can pause at any time if you want to see this in detail. These are the package contents. This is the parts of the scooter, and then the dashboard assembly, charging and connecting the app, how to ride, locking and unlocking the scooter, precautions, folding and unfolding, care and maintenance, inflating the tires, maintenance schedule, specifications, trademark and legal statements, certification, warranty, and then it goes into French. Let's take all this stuff off. This is the folding mechanism. This is the air tag holder. It looks like you would put your air tag in here. I don't have one on me. There's this edge down here that's flat. Looks like it would meet here where it's flat. You could put that in, and that just sits like that. And then the stem comes up. In order to unlock it, you would pull this up and pull this lever forward, and then this folds down. Looking up here, it looks like the handlebar twists 90 degrees, but in order to do that, there's this lever. You can't pull it outwards. You need to push this down and then pull it out, and then you can rotate this. Looking over here, there's this gray dot. There's a gray dot here. These need to line up. If you try pulling this lever when they don't line up, this will not close. So once they line up, this goes into place, and in order to loosen it, it would be the same process. Pull this down and pull this up. And it looks like it doesn't turn more than 90 degrees. I can't turn it any more this way. I can't turn it more that way. I'm going to show you the parts of the scooter. Starting from the left side, we have the rear disc brake lever. We have the bell. This is also a hook that hooks onto the rear latch. We have the power button, the thumb throttle, and then we have display right here. Just moving this aside for now. In order to turn on, you press the power button. This turns on. It shows you the current speed. This is in miles per hour. This is the drive mode. This is the battery level. There's 5 bars, each representing 20%, so we're at 60%. And it says there's low tire pressure. The other icons are the headlight, Bluetooth, lock, there's the tire pressure, error notification, then high temperature. So in order to turn the headlight on, you press this once, and the light turns on. Press it again to turn off. Press the power button twice to change the different modes. So we're in the sport mode, and then you press it twice, you're in the pedestrian mode. By default, the twist throttle does not work. You have to be going at least 5 kilometers per hour. So I'm just going to try lifting the front wheel up and then kicking off. So the pedestrian mode, we get 3 miles per hour. In the drive mode, we're getting 12 miles per hour. And then sport mode, we're getting 20 miles per hour. And in order to turn off, you press and hold the power button for a few seconds. Right here, there's a QR code to download the app. I'm going to scan it with my phone. It says the address is invalid. Brings me to the Xiaomi Smart Home app. Let me download it. Let me open the app. I agree. Don't allow. Critical alerts, I'm not going to allow it. So I have to create a new account. Ask not to track. Don't allow. I'm going to take off location home data, just use the Bluetooth. Let me pull off the sticker. I think I need to turn this on by pressing and holding this. Bluetooth is flashing. Let me add a device. I click this plus button, add device. I found the Navee electric scooter V4. Okay, then I have to set a passcode. Let me just type in 123456. Type it again, 123456. It wants to use my camera. Let me scan the QR code again. So let me reset the device. Adding device, setting password again. Okay, a successfully bound device. Asking me to set room. So I'm just going to pick living room. Okay, next. Next. Let me just agree to the policy. I have to watch a video for 40 seconds. Okay, 40 seconds later, hit done. Update firmware, sure, why not? All right, the firmware update finished. Let's go back to the scooter. It's connecting by Bluetooth. Let's look to see what we have here. Starting from the top, we have the low tire pressure, we have the battery percentage at 47%. We're in the sport mode, so you can cycle through the different modes by pressing the power button twice. These are the max speeds shown. This is the estimated range remaining. Current mileage, average speed. This is to lock it. This is to unlock it. You can turn cruise control on. It says when this function is enabled, you're riding the scooter stably, hold the accelerator for 5 seconds and the scooter will make a long beep, then release the accelerator and the scooter will be in cruise control. To disable the mode, simply press the brake or the accelerator. Okay, so I can turn on or off. There's a setting for tail light always on. I'm going to turn that off, and then automatic sensor controlled headlamp. You can turn that on or off. Down here it says energy recovery. So I think for higher energy recovering, when you let go of the accelerator, it'll probably slow down quicker, like kind of like regenerative braking or engine braking. So by default, I'm just going to keep it on low. Coming up here, let's see what settings we have. There's the units, you can change to metric, battery information, the percentage, and all this other information. Scooter information, serial number, firmware, temperature, restore scooter settings, cancel riding guide. We already saw that. Scooter QR code. We have tire maintenance. Okay, reminder frequency. I'm going to cancel device name. Can rename it, manage locations. Firmware update, help and feedback, and then additional settings. You can also delete the device. So going back, brings you back to this Xiaomi main screen. So there's also automation and the profile, and going back to home, you can go back to here, and I think that's everything. So that's all that I see for the app. I don't see anywhere that you can change the zero start, but if I do find it out, I'll put it in the description section. Right now I'm going to test the acceleration and max speed in each of the 3 gears. We have the pedestrian mode, we have the drive mode, and the sport mode. So starting with the pedestrian mode, we need to kick off. And then holding the throttle, we already hit the 3 miles per hour, and that's about it. Coming to a stop. Let's go to the drive mode. We need to kick off. And it seems like we topped out at 12 miles per hour. Coming to a stop. This is the sport mode. We're at 18 miles per hour, 19, 20, and it's holding 20 steadily. And that is it. Right now I'm going to test the brakes. I'm just going to hit the max speed and slam on the brakes behind a car and see how far it stops. 20 miles per hour behind this Honda van. Okay, we stopped right at the front wheel. That's about 16 feet or so. And we did skid, so the wheels did lock up. And trying it again behind truck. We stopped a lot further that time. I think that time the rear wheel locked up and we're skidding for some distance. I'm going to try again by gradually pressing the brake lever. So by gradually pressing the brake lever, it did not skid, but I still passed the Prius. That's probably close to 20 feet or so. Right out of the box, it doesn't feel like the rear brake lever bites until kind of towards the end. Like looking at this range, it starts biting around here. There is some level of adjustment right here. I can't do this by hand, I'll need a wrench, but I can turn this counterclockwise so that it puts more tension in this line, and then I can bite on the brakes sooner. The scooter also does not have any suspension on the front or rear, but you can always deflate the tires a little bit, and the tires can take a little bit of that bounce. If they added suspension, it would be more complex and the scooter would weigh more. Looking at the energy recovery of the brakes, it's on low right now, so that means when I let off the throttle, the e-braking on the front hub should be very low. I'm going to test that out. So hitting the max speed, I'm going to let go of the throttle at this first cone and see where we stop. So we made it pretty far. We made it past this curb. I'm going to turn the energy recovery to high and see what the difference is. Hitting the max speed again and letting go of the throttle at this first cone. I can feel the e-brake or the hub slowing down a little, and as you can see, I stopped right before this bollard. So there's a pretty good amount of distance between the low energy recovery and the high energy recovery. That's probably another 25 feet or so. Like if you're going down a steep hill, you can turn the energy recovery to high and then it won't coast as far. Just to show you guys again, this is on energy recovery low. I'm gonna coast down this hill and it feels like there's no resistance in the front hub. I'm just coasting down. I'm gonna turn around. Turning energy recovery on to high, I noticed that when you first coast down, it feels like there's normal coasting, but once you apply the brake, like right now, I feel resistance on the front hub. It's slowing down a lot faster. With energy recovery on high, when you let go of the throttle, the hub slows down by itself. I personally like energy recovery on low so I can continue coasting and I have more control over the braking. I guess if you want to save the rear brake pads or not brake as much going downhill, you can turn the energy recovery on too high, but then I don't know if it actually degrades your front hub faster. Moving on to the review, the things I liked most about this was this unique handlebar design. Unlike other scooters where this is fixed, you can actually rotate this 90 degrees, and with that you can actually fold it as such, and it takes up less space. Some other handlebars always stuck being across here, and I feel like it's a little awkward storing it in my garage because it takes up more space, and with this design it takes up a smaller footprint. One thing I did notice is that you have to make sure that this hook is pushed against the back right there before you lift up the scooter, because sometimes when it's just resting or if it's knocked out of place as such, and then you're ready to grab your scooter, and when you lift it up, it doesn't actually lift the entire scooter. So you have to make sure that this is all the way back, or you can push this back and lift it up. I like that there's a rear disc brake. I like that there are pneumatic tires, meaning that they're inflated with air. Some other ones are the honeycomb plastic or rubber ones that do not puncture, but then I feel like they ride a little rougher. The build quality is good. This is like a solid tube and it feels very sturdy, and there's enough space for both of my feet. Display, you can see it during the day, and then it's also UL listed for those of you who care about that. There's also an app where you can change different settings, check the battery level, check out serial numbers, the temperature, and all that other condition, which is nice. There's also a headlight and a tail light, which is nice, and it also gets brighter when you brake. Some things I would have improved on: I mentioned about the hook being a little wobbly or loose. It would have been nice if they included a brake lever for the front hub. I have the energy recovery set to low, and that's what it is by default, meaning that the only braking I have is really this rear disc brake. The front doesn't seem to be slowing down when I let off the throttle. If I set energy recovery to medium or high, every time I let off the throttle, the front starts slowing down by itself, which is good, but sometimes I just want to coast and have more control of slowing it manually. So that's just a suggestion. I also couldn't find in the app how to enable zero start, so by default I can't just push the throttle. I have to kick off more than 5 kilometers and then I can use the throttle. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints. If you guys are interested in an electric scooter in the $300 to $550 price range, check this one out. It's supposed to be available at Target and Best Buy. I saw it on Target for $529.99 right now. I also looked online and I saw some for around $350 to $399, so you're able to get that cheaper. Please like this video if you found it helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.